Hello, how is everybody doing today? It is Pride Month, and even with everything going on, and maybe is it in spite of, or just because of, or in addition to? But anyway, with everything going on right now, my pride is through the roof this year because, oh my goodness. And I know it's Pride Month because I have been getting all of the unsolicited emails and messages from people saying, "So, my friend's parents are having problems. Can you help them out?" And of course, I will do what I can, but I am not that kind of a miracle worker. I can try, but I can only give advice. But I feel weird that I only get those messages during Pride Month. Weird that. So, before I bring everybody on screen with me, I just wanted to let you all know we are doing the Pride and Prejudice anthology again this year, Pride and Prejudice 2 Disaster Piece Theater, and I am very excited about it. The formal full announcement video will come out tomorrow. We've been talking about it for about a month now. You have until the end of June to get your story written, recorded, uploaded to your YouTube channel as an unlisted video, and sent to me via my DMs, which are open on all of the social medias. So you can find me on Twitter, Instagram. I'm CA Dorset on both. Probably Facebook, bad place because I never go there. But I do believe my DMs are even open over there. I just might not see it because I forget about it. I just forget. I don't ever go there. There's the only thing that we ask is that it is somehow pride related. And by that, I mean, it just has an LGBTQIA character in it of some stripe. And if you are just an ally, you're welcome to join us as well, because allyship is important. So, having said all that, let's say hello to the wonderful people that are here with me. I am joined by the wonderful Cat Leo, the amazing, who has a couple books coming out, Carrie H. Arthur, the phenomenal, and it really feels weird when I stream without her, Megan McCarthy, because we've been doing it together since I started, and she who does not think highly of herself enough, she who needs all of the compliment bondage and all of the compliment storms that you can throw her way, the one, the only, the amazing mistress of horror, Laura Nettles.
Hello.
One of these days, I'm going to inflate your head so big it no longer fit on screen.
Call me Aunt Marge. The Trunchable.
All of the ego shall be yours. So it is camp prep time. What was Jules calling it this morning? Prepoon?
Yeah.
That's a weird word to say. It's a very weird word to say. I almost put it on the thumbnails, and then I went, I don't even want to look up how to spell that because I feel like I'm going to get into a very Rule 34 area of the internet. So I didn't look it up. But yeah, I'm very excited. We have double prep going on because some people here are working for Camp Nano. I am definitely focusing in on World Building Summer Camp, which both happened at the same time in July. And who knows, maybe I'll do a project for each because I have a project that is kind of both at the same time. Who knows? We shall see. How are y'all doing?
Pretty good.
Working the day job. Getting close.
I love
around
cats.
with covered
Like,
stuff.
all the covers. All right, let's see who all is here. Hello, CB. How are you doing today? I hope all is well. Hello, Trenches. How are you doing? I hope all is well with you. Hello, Cool Gamer. How you doing? Hello, Maggie. I hope all is well and the winds are behaving. I would wish that the goats are behaving, but, you know, they're goats. Goat's going to do what a goat's going to do. So, you know, there are not enough well wishes in the world to get goats to behave if they don't want to. Hello, Jenna the Soul Writer. How are you doing? I hope all is well with you today. Going to be doing some teaching tasks tonight and then some admin tasks for author things. I feel this. I am doing very well. Don't forget to say hello to the like button. Oh, thank you so very, very much. Yeah, I'm probably actually going to be working on the paper for my next class. because they have given us a 2-page paper that is due first day. They give us 8 books to choose from. We have to read 2 of them and have a 2-page paper in first day of class. So I have. Well, I cheated. I will be honest. I cheated. I had already read one of the books that was on the list, so I'm counting that. I actually reread it not that long ago because it's one of my favorites. That's Creativity by Matthew Fox. And the other book, they had an audiobook version of it. So I've been listening to that on and off while doing other things. And
Nice.
it just makes me want to yell and scream and shout things because I don't disagree with him in spirit. I just wish he had a much more aggressive editor that would have fixed his prose so much. And his narrative is a little wonky. But that actually might be what I write my paper on, because half of his book is about how we need new stories to understand the world that we are living in. And yeah, we do. And maybe better ones that don't use so many $5 words. If the average person has to pull out a dictionary to understand a paragraph he wrote, and I mean like several times, like he uses a lot of big words, which again, wouldn't be that problematic, except for this is supposed to be the popular book, like the one for everybody, not just like for academics interested in the topic. Yeah, got feelings about all that. Let's see. Happy to be an ally in the background and not participate. That is perfectly fine. Just enjoy what will probably be an amazing set of stories. I am still like wanting to write fan fiction for the one Chloe did last year. I can't get it out of my head. I just can't. Like, I loved so many of them, but something about that one that Chloe wrote last year, I can't stop thinking about it. I just want to continue the story. I want it to keep going, and I'm hoping maybe she will do that this year. I don't know.
The plate is so grainy of what they filmed in the background. I thought it was CG that I needed to fix, but no, they filmed it that way.
It's on purpose.
Well, it makes sense with how confined a space this is and how dark it is that it's grainy, but yeah.
I have to say, we in our little corner of AuthorTube over here have an amazing plethora of writers who can do so many amazing things, and I have enjoyed reading, and like I feel really guilty when you ask me to like beta read your stuff, because I'm just like, I don't want to corrupt your beautiful talents. Like, it's just y'all so good,
The one you read, North Star, it already got rejected.
People are dumb. That's all I gotta say. Sometimes people are dumb. Though the note that you got back, I feel like would make it a much longer story than it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, do you have size restrictions or not, magazine? Anyway.
Do you want to be a Flash?
Right? Because there's just, I think they had the same feeling I did, like, and the novel is coming out. When? I feel that about like, most of your stories. I still, like, of the Laura Nettles oeuvre, Cloak of Bones, I still am just...
It's a short story now. It's in tiny shivers.
Just obsessed with it. Just, talk about 5 seasons in a movie. Like, yes, 5 seasons in a movie. But boom is word. Is word. I don't... I will try, but I make no promises whatsoever.
Ooh.
Nice.
Nice. I'm really curious how that book works for you, because I've looked at a couple of those over the years. For one of the stories that I'm working on, I was having some issues with it, and I pulled out my copy of Plotto, just because every author should have a copy of Plotto, because it's trash, and it's meant to be trash, and it's really, really horrible. If you don't know, Plotto is a book that was originally written, I believe, in the 1930s to help pulp authors write stories. So you start with a scenario, and it's literally it's a high concept choose your own adventure book. So you pick a scenario, And then it's like, okay, so one of these things then happens, and then you pick the one that you so you write it down, and you pick the one that you want, and you turn to that page, and then it's like, okay, then one of these things can happen, and you pick the one of those, and you write it down, and then it goes, okay, go to this page, and you just flip around until at the end, huzzah, plot is trash, is meant for writing trash, and I'm not going to use the story that it came up with, but it did inspire the story that I am including in that book. So it wasn't a waste of time. It just wasn't entirely productive time. But if you've ever wanted to write a soap opera and you're like, I can't be that random, I highly recommend Plotto. I highly recommend it. Plotto. It is trash. It is meant for writing trash, and is so good. It's so good. But I'm really curious how this works, because you got the trope thesaurus, if I'm remembering correctly. And I'm really curious how all that comes together. Ooh, Stark for President Book 1 is about to be done. By $5 words.
That's how you make the monies.
I don't have a problem with a little bit of loquaciousness. I really don't. Like, if one wants to be verbose, then be verbose. We cannot always cater to the laconic members of our society. But
So my mom was helping me with my middle grade, and she's like throwing out huge words. I'm like, Mom, I don't think an 8-year-old knows what noxious means. Like, the noxious odor. I'm like, the bad scent, the bad smell. Okay, not noxious odor. We're going middle grade.
Although that would be then the teacher's favorite vocab book. Just read this book and write down all the words you don't recognize. And
I mean, it's not bad to use large words. It's just, these were very much academic terms
yeah.
that basically, if you have not been keeping up with modern physics or like how certain chemical reactions take place, like they were
average
jargon.
Joe.
Yeah, they were jargon words. Like, they weren't even like just fancy English words. There was a lot of jargon in the book, and it's just, you know, if you're writing a book for a popular audience, like, this is the book that's supposed to go wide, maybe somebody should have been like, you realize no one who has not taken physics in college has any idea what any of these words mean. Like, nobody knows any of these words. Like,
I forgot to add the stupid light to the stupid bundle. Okay.
and at least one of them, because I've had this problem before, because it's one of my favorite words. If you look it up, it has about 9 definitions, and most of them are in conflict with each other. So you really have to understand the context to understand the meaning of the word.
That's
which again requires you to have a background
Isn't that called like a contronym or something like that?
Yeah, the word is homeostasis, and I love this word. It has a lot of meanings, most of which have in some ways a sense of to bring balance, and which is all he needed to say in the book is we need to find a way to bring balance. But of course he used the word homeostasis, but this is used very differently in the field of agriculture than it is in fields of physics or chemistry or and that's the problem. It's a very specific state of reaction, but because all of those have jargoned their ways down, is not exactly the same meaning.
Gotcha.
Let's see, Stark for President Book 1 is now getting put up on AO3. That is awesome.
Yay.
That is awesome. That is
It's
exciting.
not put up.
Oh, it's not put up. Did I read that wrong? I read that
Until
wrong.
not
book
getting
A
put
and
up in-
book 2.
Yeah.
Uno momento, coffee. That helps reading, right? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking at Plotto and wondering why it isn't an app yet. Right? I have wondered this the whole time using it. Because it is basically a negative 2.0 app. Because it's just go to 10 clauses. Like, you could write it in the simplest basic code ever. Like, you don't even need fancy programming languages to make this thing into a program. Because it's all there. If this, then that. It's just if-then statements all the way down. but they trashy, and I love them. But it really should be. I wonder if it's public domain yet, because if it is, that
Probably, if it's
Yeah.
from the 1930s.
yeah, I believe it's from the 1930s.
I don't know, when was Mickey?
Well, actually, did they renew the copyright in 1970?
Mm.
Because this is the problem with anything old, is if they did not renew the copyright in 1970, then it is subject to the laws of when it was written. But if they renewed in 1970, then it's basically immortal.
Have you seen the stuff for the horror Winnie the Pooh movie coming out?
What? There's a horror Winnie the Pooh movie
Winnie the
coming
Pooh, Blood and Honey.
out? What?
Because Pooh
Okay,
and
I need to
Piglet
see
are now
this.
common domain from the books. Not the Disney version, but the books.
True.
Tigger is in 2 years.
Beatrice Potter wrote a long time ago. You're right.
No, it was Milne. Wasn't it?
Was it Milne? I thought
Yeah, it was Milne.
Amen. Yeah.
Beatrix Potter was
that's Peter
the
Rabbit.
Bunny Rabbits.
That's Peter Rabbit.
Peter
yeah,
Rabbit,
I'm sorry. Thank you. My brain went wrong.
And yes, CB, we would like a sneak peek.
Yes, I would like a sneak peek of the opening of book 2.
What? Yes. Yeah. Isn't that fun when you're doing certain things and you have to ask yourself, so when did this person die? Because, it just makes everything more fun. Though a couple years ago, when Khalil Gibran's The Prophet went public domain, I did a full chapter-by-chapter breakdown of it on one of my podcasts, and that was so much fun to do. And I just wish somebody would figure out exactly what copyright state the Lensman series is in, because I would love to write more books in that universe that aren't strictly fan fiction. Like, put all the effort and energy in to try to make Lensman a thing again, because it hasn't really been since like the 50s. Because I love those books. I love that universe.
Ooh.
But it's in such a weird place.
CB has the beginning. The cacophony of acrimoniously argumentative voices swelled to a deafening crescendo. Questions flew around the room like bats in a belfry tower. What are we doing here? Who brought us here? Why can't we use our powers? Why can't we leave? Why are there so many of us? What is going on? Ooh.
Ooh.
I'm
Multiverse.
intrigued.
Bum, bum, bum. Is good hook. That's a fun hook. It's making me think. Sarah Zed, her recent video on what's it called? You don't actually enjoy binge watching or something like that. Do you actually enjoy binge watching? Something binge watching? Question mark?
I thought it was like binge watching is ruining television or something.
See, I don't remember if I'm remembering the name of the video or what's on the thumbnail. I don't remember. Anyway, it's a very good video. It's long because it's Sarah Zed, but it's a very good video. And really brings up a lot of interesting questions about how we write, how we put our stories out in the world, how we enjoy them, how we get entertainment from them. And I love the diversion through fan fiction that she takes in there, because there's a reason why a lot of people enjoy fan fiction more than the original stuff in a lot of ways. And it's because you got to hook people and you got to keep them there coming back every time for every new update in a way that, more traditional media does not necessarily have to do, or at least did not traditionally have to do.
Mm-hmm.
And when I see nice little hooks like this from CB working on a fanfic, it's like, yeah, I can't imagine a trad pub story, even a traditional author who's doing something for Bella, trying to write a strong hook like that to get their story out there. Actually, I don't have to imagine. I've read a couple. Yeah, no. Don't even have to put on the imaginary lens and let's see, what would this be like? No. And that's kind of the thing that I'm struggling with, is as somebody who's halfway in between, trying to find that nice fine line between writing chapters of the book that I'm working on, but making sure that they have all the hooks necessary since Super Secret Project 26, which will be the first part of Super Secret Master Project 1 to come out, because yeah. Timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly bits. Um, I am really concerned that it doesn't have the hooks right to do the thing that it needs to do to live as online fiction. Especially since I am avoiding Vela and some of the other larger sites for this. So, yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot.
Question for CB: how long is the Stark for President series going to be? Because you mentioned book 1 and 2. Is there more than that?
Is a good question.
Interested readers want to know.
Yes. And this is the other thing that I'm having issues with, is trying to figure out how to do a beta process for a serial that I am not going to completely have written by launch. Because I'm not used to doing beta reads for incomplete texts.
Mm.
And it
You
feels
can't
weird.
go back and fix what you've already posted usually.
Because it feels weird to be like, hey, here's chapter 1. Let me know what you think. You know, like, because I know my instinct is like, well, it depends on how this gets developed in future. And it's like, right now, there is no future. There is only one. Like, this is all that there is. And I'm trying to figure out that process moving forward, because this is going to be one of the first projects that I am going to be basically posting as it's written, and hopefully finalizing as written. So I don't know exactly how I want that to work out in the end. Let's see. See, there are 3 books in Stark for President series, and here's the 3rd paragraph.
Finally, a tall, handsome man with gigantic white wings, light auburn hair, a hooked nose, and brown eyes stood at the podium with a microphone and said, "Enough! I can't give any more." Oh, you can't give any more than that right now because the Multiverse of Madness spoilers. Ooh.
I can't wait for that to be up on Disney Plus, because I do not like our theater. I do not like it with anything in it. Like, it's just a bad place that causes nothing but pain and suffering, and I'm not going there. So I want to see that so bad. So hopefully it will make its way to Disney Plus in the not too distant future. I did break down and let myself watch Secrets of Dumbledore on HBO Max, and as bad as I heard this movie was, as spoiler filled as the reviews of this movie were that I watched, that told me how bad this movie was, I was not prepared. I was not prepared for the retcon to how portkeys work, because portkeys are completely different in this and work in a way that we have never seen before at all, because apparently one of the characters has a magic book that, depending on which page you grab in it, where the portkey takes you, and she just like throws the book up in the air and it opens and spreads out all the pages, and they're stable enough she can actually walk on them, because I guess somebody saw that in an anime and went, that looks cool. Oh no, so much of this movie was ripped off from other movies. There are 2 fights that take place in the mirror dimension for absolutely no reason, which is something we've never seen in this universe before. Just yay, mirror dimension. It's a thing now in over there. And then Grindelwald has access to a Lazarus pit where he can just like put things in it and they come back to life, apparently. And that would be really good to know for like all the people that died in like all the other stories. Like, there's a Lazarus pit. Just take them to the freaking Lazarus pit. They'll be fine. Yeah. Just, so bad. I can't even. I just can't even with this.
Am I not muted? Oh, crap!
Oh, it's If you want all of the spoilers and really beautiful snark to go with it, I highly recommend James Somerton's wonderful review, full spoiler review of this film, because he does go through most of the trash fire that is this film. He leaves out a lot of things that are just wow. Like I don't know how any of this.
He probably wanted to. I'm sure there was stuff that he probably had to cut out. Otherwise, it would be a 5-hour movie.
Yeah.
Video. Like, just listening to your ranting about it last night. It was
Yeah, I could go on for days. Like this could just be like a 13-hour, like an old school 13-hour live stream, and I could do nothing but talk about the first maybe 30 minutes of this movie that makes no sense, because it's like, okay, we get it. You didn't like any of the previous movies, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to retcon everything in a way that makes absolutely no sense and move forward from a completely different standpoint. But while we're retconning everything, we're not going to explain why Grindelwald no longer looks like Johnny Depp. We're just going to ignore that one. We're going to move on. But every other weird continuity thing, we're going to explain in excruciating detail. Except for that, don't ask. You don't need to know.
Ooh,
Hi, Joe.
food.
You don't need to know. It's fine. It's just, oh my goodness. But yeah, I do not recommend this film.
the camera did not capture his facial expression enough.
Yeah, I really cannot recommend this film to anybody. I was hoping that like there would be something. Like there's only one scene in it that's worth watching, and I'm hoping that it gets clipped and put online. And it's when Grindelwald and Dumbledore do this really weird dance battle so that they can break magic jewelry. Oh no, like
Wow.
okay, so Mads Mikkelsen is really kind of cute, and
I love him.
And Jude Law's really kind of cute. And there's this scene where they put their hands over each other's hearts and like dance around while shooting weird lava sparks at each other. And like they just spin and dance. And in the back of my head, just because the movie was already trash, I could just hear, never gonna give you up. Like, just like it would perfectly work in this scene. Like, so well. And through all of this, the magic jewelry gets broken because who will ever love you, Dumbledore? And just it's so like the only good moment of the movie. It's like a minute long, where they're doing weird hand on heart battle dancing for reasons.
A minute out of a how long of a movie?
It's 2 hours and 22 minutes.
Oh man.
This is the only part of the movie that I can recommend, and it has nothing to do with its actual purpose in the movie. It's just watching Jude Law and Mads Mikkelsen hand on each other's hearts, spinning around each other to break magic jewelry. There's something so gay about that. That, yes. Yes. Like, there's one moment in the movie. But everything else is trash. Like, all of the double agents are black, so if you meet a black person, they're a double agent. Just assume. Just assume. Oh, black person, you're a double agent for somebody. Got it. If they have a stereotypically Jewish last name, then they are a traitor. Just accept it. It's going to happen. And none of the women have agency. And they all want to get with Eddie Redmayne. Which, I mean, kind of relatable, but I mean... Oh, and they gave him a secret girlfriend that apparently he had for like 8 years that we've never met about, but trust us, she was there the whole time. You just didn't see her. She was just off camera the whole time.
Uh-huh.
Then why was he like hitting on Tina for like 2 movies straight? Like, you're a bad boyfriend, Newt. You're just a really bad boyfriend if you've had secret girlfriend for 8 years and you were that into Tina. Really? Anyway, sorry. I'm going to stop because I could keep going. I am working on a video for all of this, so if you have any questions, do send them to me. The video is going to be titled something like, "This is why people hate fantasy fiction." Because, yeah, for the first time in my life, I felt it. Like, this is why people hate fantasy fiction. This movie right here. And do not let children watch this movie. I want to say that right out from the bat. There is a super gory sequence in this movie out of nowhere completely not warned, with like melting flesh and bits being ripped off of people, and like just super gory out of nowhere for no reason, that
Oh,
goes
they
on for
went
like 10, 20 minutes.
they went Lost Ark on it, didn't they?
Ish. See, we go to prison worse than Azkaban. That's the whole setup for it. It's the prison
Well,
that's even worse than Azkaban.
I thought there was nothing worse than Azkaban.
Well, having seen this prison, it's not worse than Azkaban, but the setup is. It is worse than Azkaban. It's just really
The
weird,
setup
capricious
is
ones.
worse.
Yes, I mean, there's a lot more random death in this prison than there probably is in Azkaban, so technically, I guess, worse. But, weird torture jail. Like, that's just... Like, which is worse? Weird torture jail or weird be quiet or we feed you to the minions? Which, I don't know. Balance this out. Which is worse? It's just bad. Yes. Yes, this is literally one of the worst films I've ever seen. Which is sad because half the actors are like, I can save it because I am a great actor, and like they work their like little butts off trying to sell some of these lines that George Lucas knows better than write some of the dialogue that's in this movie, and George Lucas cannot write dialogue. Like, I'm a Star Wars fan, but I will not defend his dialogue writing skills at all. But the other half of the cast knows that this movie is trash, and they're just here because they're contractually obligated to be here. And you can tell. There's one character who every time she has to give a stupid line looks right into the camera. Like, stupid line.
I'm doing my thing. When's my paycheck?
Right. Like, and they didn't cut out her looking into the camera or pick a different, like, it's just. So, yes, it's oh my goodness, it's just, it is a thing what exists. And I'm really curious to see if somehow they make 2 more of these. Because, oh, please no. Please no. We don't need that. Alrighty. I've been jabbering for way too long. Let's do a sprint.
Ooh,
Number 1 looks like Belle. I
TM
pick her.
number 7.
trademark to cat. I stole Cat's word. But it's fun to say.
5.
What word did you steal?
Sprint.
Oh, yeah, we've been sprinting.
It's fun to say. I didn't want to go with 2 because I really want my purple hair back. I just don't have the energy to dye it.
I have the dye. I
Cinnamon
just need
has
someone
such a-
to come help me.
Right?
If you were closer, I'd volunteer my services,
So
but you're a little
much
far
hair.
away.
So
Come
much hair.
fly. Come fly to me. I have an inflatable mattress. You can stay over.
I'd have to. I don't think I'd be able to make the return flight home right after.
That would be one hell of a day trip. I'm just saying. Like, I went to Canada for one day to help dye my friend's hair. Like, that's a YouTube video challenge if I've ever heard one. Will I be home before the 24-hour mark breaks? Let's go. Alrighty. Make sure that you've got your work open, whatever you're going to be working on, and make sure that you are saving it and saving it regularly. We do not want to feed the gremlins. The gremlins kept eating my internet all day yesterday. It was very annoying. We're doing fine today, though. So far. Knock on. Where's real wood? You're real wood. Knock, 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 knock. Okay. Let's get started on the sprint in a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go! Let's get ourselves a corgi cord.
Pretty in Pink one. Number 4.
Number 4. It's getting dark in house. There's clouds outside.
Gotta turn down my music.
I just had a giant bolt of lightning and thunder that, like, I think I jumped out of my skin for a sec.
Oh man.
So loud!
I didn't think we were supposed to be getting weather today. Loading it up because I'm curious. Oh, yeah, there's a big... We are about to have thunder. We are about to have thunder. Yeah. Yeah, yep, that's the thing that's about to happen.
Good night, CB.
Night, CB.
I'm guessing it's not going to be all that bad, or they would have been going on and on and on about it for a while. I just didn't know that we were expecting anything. So,
Well, I said in the chat that if I disappear, because I got the thunderstorm warning on my phone and they're talking about 80-mile-an-hour gusts.
Ooh.
So,
yeah, I
being right by the window.
I can practically smell those French fries. I just want one so bad.
I had French fries today. They were crinkle cut.
Nice. I had leftover Thai food for lunch today. It was very delicious, but French fries sound much better.
I am not discussing my lunch because it was a Shonda and should not have happened. So,
Oh,
we had leftover salmon, and I reheated it, and it both smelled and tasted like dirty seawater. So I did not
Aw.
eat it. I think it went bad.
oh no.
So I did not. I ended up having a little bit of cheese and some chips because I didn't know what else to make, and I had decision paralysis. So, yeah. That was a thing that happened. How did everybody do? I am working on schoolwork right now, and I'm not really at a place where I can like count words yet because I'm trying to not be Mrs. White. Like, a lot of people misunderstand my description of like, you just think everybody's going to kick you out, or no, that's not what I'm feeling right now. It's just my current state of being is I'm just Mrs. White from Clue, and I'm just flames, fades of my face, just flames. I think it is
Watch
better
that
for
movie now.
You're welcome. I just think it's better for everyone involved if I'm not that person, because, like, sometimes yes, it's good to get on the soapbox and it's good to just like scream into the universe, and other times it's like, I don't need to talk to their manager. It's fine. Like, we do not have a philosophical disagreement. There's not a philosophical disagreement here. It's just I don't like the way it was worded. I don't like the way that you put this forward. I think you accidentally built your own straw man. Like, not even a straw man. You built a series of straw men that I can tear your argument apart because you didn't structure it as strongly as you thought you had. Even though your argument is actually very strong and very sound. Just so I don't need the flames. I don't need them right now.
So it sounds like your paper is on the edge of being a literary critique.
I'm trying to basically, we're either supposed to talk about what we liked or what we got out of the reading that we did, and so I'm trying to focus more on what I got out of it, because yes, I do agree with the basic premise of both of these books. The one book I definitely like a lot more than the other one, just because Like, you shouldn't accidentally undermine your own arguments by not making them strongly enough.
Yeah. Did you tell us when your class start tomorrow or next
It
Thursday?
starts next Tuesday. They're on Tuesday this
Tuesday.
time. Yeah, they're on Tuesday this time. So yeah, next Tuesday they will start.
What time?
It's the same time as the last one, so 6 to 8 my time, which is Central Time. So adjust accordingly. So I will probably do what I've been doing and move back to the office for class, so Brian can hang out with y'all during the Tuesday Fun Day thing we've been doing in the Discord. That's the word. Sorry, I'm just watching it get darker and darker and darker in here. It's like I really don't want to turn a light on. Having all the internal debates right now. Like, I just don't want to turn a light on. Anywho, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to this class.
It's dark in here. I'm going to turn on my stars.
I like anytime I can talk about the works of Pierre Desjardins, because I love his stuff. I love everything that he wrote. But yeah, like, I was the super class contrarian last class because everybody decided to get very binarily gendered in a lot of their discussion, and I'm just the one sitting there like, all of this is weird mythology that you're deciding to continue and perpetuate. Why? These gender terms are not necessary for what you're saying. Compassion doesn't have a gender.
It does not.
In fact, a man who does not have compassion, I would say, is practicing toxic masculinity, not masculinity. That's like one of the definitions that makes it toxic is let's wring all the compassion out of it. Am I wrong?
Nope.
No.
But yeah, it was. I don't want to just be that person because I can very easily just be that person. I can very easily be that person. That sounds very delicious. Very, very good. I'm glad Brian's not here to see that because that's what we would be having tonight. And I don't know if my tum-tum can take that right now. Woo! Minotaur Civil War. Funny thing is that always makes you think of Mrs. Doubtfire. when he puts his face in the game. Hello! I have so many mixed feelings about Mrs. Doubtfire. Like, it's happy movie, love the movie. It was a fun movie, but you never recognized your husband. Like, you never recognized your husband. Like, I know why you got divorced. Like, we don't have to go into like the marital problems or anything else. Like, your husband is a professional voice actor, and yet you cannot recognize his voice when he's doing the voice acting. I know why you got divorced. Like, you weren't that into each other. Like, you just weren't. Because, I mean, I do a lot of weird monkey voices, but I'm pretty sure if I decided to just run around the house and be like, hello! Like, Brian would be like, Charlie, why are you doing that? Just why? It doesn't matter how many prosthetics I have on. It doesn't matter the costume. Because he's seen me in all the costumes because, been married for a long time. Like, I feel like she should have known. So all I'm saying is she should have known. And it really bothers me that she didn't. Like, how self-absorbed is this? Like, wow, I have so many questions about the other characters in this, It's kind of like when I watch Tootsie and it's like, really, none of you realized that
And
was
the kids, too.
Yeah, and the kids, too. Yeah. Like, you really weren't that close to your father, were you? Because I'm sure he read stories to you. Like, I'm sure he read stories to you. Like, when somebody...
So the girl from that movie wrote a book. Lisa Jacob wrote "You Look Like That Girl" about her time in the movie. But what was funny is I was in line. This was at a Book Expo America. I was in line for something else, and I was sitting behind this guy, and we got to talking. And he's like, "Yeah, my wife wrote a book," and I'm like, "That's cool. Like, I have a book blog," and blah blah blah. Started talking about that. And he was like, "Yeah, you should go over and check out her book and stuff like that. And I was like, sweet. So I go over, and it was Lisa Jacobs' husband who had been talking to me, and she was like, oh yeah. When I got up there, I was like, I was just sitting behind your husband. And she's like, oh yeah, he texted me and told me the entire thing. And so she's even tweeted me a couple of times on Twitter, like afterwards. It was great. She's so sweet.
That is awesome.
I enjoy that he was like, you should check out my wife.
That's the kind of love and support we want in our relationships. That
Yeah.
right there. Not, I really can't recognize you with a prosthetic nose on and a funny voice. Like, I know why you got divorced, and it's sad. It's just sad. I'm actually have more questions of how are you together in the first place? Like, I've never wanted a prequel movie so bad. Like, how did they get together to get divorced? Like, how did this happen? Just so many questions. Just way too many. But I mean, granted, given the way things are going, we might get that prequel movie. Who knows? We're getting prequels and sequels to everything.
And live action remakes.
And live action remakes. Why the why?
Did you see the Pinocchio trailer? It actually looks kind of decent.
I saw that it exists, and I did not have the heart. Like, okay,
I think my grandfather worked on Pinocchio, if I remember correctly.
the live action. Okay, I'm sorry. I need bigger scare quotes. I can't really fit the scare quotes into the screen here, but the live action Lion King
Didn't watch it.
kind of broke me in so many ways, because one, if it's all CG, it's not live action. So number one, like it's just differently animated. Like, you chose to differently animate this movie. And two,
It's realistically animated.
you had Beyonce and did not give Nala an I Want song, and I have not forgiven them for this. I just have not. You had Beyonce. You gave the Beast an I Want song in the live action Beauty and the Beast, and he did not
I
need one.
really liked that song.
It's a good song, but he didn't need one. We didn't need that.
Right.
You had Beyonce. And then, of course, there's the live action Aladdin, where you proved to me that you had a good version of Friend Like Me because you saved it for the end credits, where Will Smith's all over Friend Like Me, and it's really good and it's really entertaining because he's not pretending to be Robin Williams. Why isn't that the one that's actually in the movie at the scene? Because you hired Will Smith, who is a rapper. I don't know if you know this word, but he raps happy. Like that's like Will Smith's whole thing. And yet you had him actually record a hip hop version of Friend Like Me, but no, we're going to save that for the end credits and not have it actually in the movie where it would have made sense and wouldn't make it feel really awkward because he's doing his best Robin Williams impression. Which, let's face it, no one has a good Robin Williams impression. No one does, because Robin Williams was just perfection. Yeah,
Unless they manage to get themselves possessed by Robin Williams, they can't do a good Robin Williams.
right?
I did hear somebody did a mashup of those two versions, where it's like the two genies together, and I really liked it. I'm gonna try and find the link to it.
That would be really cool. Because I actually kind of liked the live action Aladdin. I think it could have been edited better. Give it a little moment to breathe. Don't let Jasmine sing her entire song about how she will not be silenced and immediately have somebody put their hand over her mouth and carry her away. Like, but you did, though. Like, you just sang like a 5-minute song about how you will not be silenced, and then you were. Like, it just kind of undercuts the message of the song. Like, have her get kidnapped on another day. Just like do a little transition there where we go from night to day, and then she gets kidnapped. Just some time has passed. Like, she's had her girl boss moment, and now they're coming to kidnap her. Or something. I don't know. Just a little. Just give me a beat. I don't know. The one I think I'm worried about the most is The Little Mermaid.
Mm.
And it's just because I don't know how Disney or Hans Christian Andersen-y or Frozen-y it's going to get. Because, I mean, last time they did a Hans Christian Andersen story, they just went, I don't know, he wrote something. Can we do something else? And did. Like, they've done this twice. So, yeah, I really got that message from the movie. Like, I really, really got that message from the movie that it's just like, sure, you won't be silenced. Here, let's just do that for you. There you go. Just be quiet now, little girl. Like, it didn't work for me. It didn't. It just didn't. And I just don't understand how nobody noticed that. Like, I think this is the strength of the Pixar method, where starting with the animatics all the way through. Well, actually, starting from the when they do the storyboards through, they gather people together to comment on the movie step by step all the way through the process repeatedly.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why the Pixar movies work so well, is they've been workshopped and workshopped and workshopped to get it to be the best thing that it can be. And I think one like early pass through where you're like, maybe we should never sing the Girl Boss song, and then get kidnapped like instantly. Maybe just talk to somebody else in the room and be like, wait, we're not giving Beyonce an I Want song? Like, what are we, why have Beyonce then? Like, just, you know who can belt out an anthem for a generation? Beyonce. She's done it, what, how many times?
Yeah.
I don't even know. Okay, I guess when we do the next sprint, the first thing I'm doing is watching this. I need to understand how this works its way out. Like, I gotta watch this trailer now.
I thought they did a good job at making him look like Geppetto. Like, that was really cool.
Like, I'm flabbergasted. So Tom Hanks is playing Geppetto?
Yes.
Interesting.
I can kind of see that. I mean, let's be honest. With the exception of dead-eyed CGI people, who can't Tom Hanks play? I mean, well, it does show that Tom Hanks can't save every movie that he's in. I mean, Polar Express exists.
And what was that other movie that he was in that didn't do well, where he was like Walt Disney or something?
Oh, yeah. That would be the one I was complaining
Saving
about.
Mr. Banks.
Yeah,
I
Saving
liked that
Mr.
one.
Banks. I just think it needed a trigger warning.
Mm.
My only beef with it, I think it needed a disclaimer. I thought it was going to be just happy Disney propaganda. I did not need to watch that movie while I was home alone in the midst of my depression.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Disney just says safe to me. It just does. Like, Disney has brought up a certain
Historically,
brand.
man.
Yeah, like they have a certain brand that when I see that they decided to put the actual Disney logo on something,
Mhm.
I have certain expectations. Like, that's why they have all the other brands. For all of the, maybe your kids shouldn't watch this.
This is what Tom Hanks looked like as Geppetto.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's quite a transformation.
Yeah.
He does kind of look like an old Italian man,
Kinda.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're gonna need to get this sprint
Yeah. The
started.
facial features, like he stepped out of the
Where's-
animated movie.
There's Jiminy
Okay.
Cricket.
Oh, we took the thing off the screen. There we go.
Oh. This is the Blue Fairy.
Ooh.
Oh.
Wait a minute. Who is that?
I don't know.
That face looks so familiar.
IMDb.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to I am not going to say names out loud right now because I am not the name person today. Oh, great. Now I have to remember how to spell Pinocchio. There we go.
PM.
Thank you, Google. Who's playing the Blue Fairy? Because that face looks very familiar. Okay, IMDb, can you stop it with the full... Okay, so that is Cynthia Ervio. What else have you been in?
Yeah.
I'm not recognizing anything. What have I seen? Okay, she was in the new Fraggle Rock show, which I kind of want to watch because I love the old Fraggle Rock. I am not recognizing any of these names. So why does she look so fun? Oh, she was in Mr. Selfridge. Okay, I did see that. Made Brian watch that because his weird show about a man who started a department store in the England. That's probably where I know her from. She's been in a lot of podcast series, which is kind of cool. Though I did not know there was a TV miniseries of James and the Giant Peach with Taika and friends. Did not know that was a thing. Kind of curious about that too, because when I was a kid, James and the Giant Peach was like one of my favorite things. Then again, I was a Roald Dahl fanatic as a child.
Same.
Yeah, it's too bad I discovered he's like horribly anti-Semitic and kind of an awful person. I was like, but your works are so good.
I just assume that of like all the writers that I like of a certain generation until proven otherwise.
Oh, so I have a story about this. Okay, so I have some cousins that live in Australia. They have a winery and stuff. So sometimes they go do things. And they were golfing somewhere, and they met the real Willy Wonka, the guy that Roald Dahl based the character Willy Wonka off of. And so he told him all these stories about meeting Roald Dahl in the military and their experience, and he like, and how Roald Dahl asked like, "Hey, can I steal your name?" And so now he has a share in the candy company with his name on it. And
That's
they just
cool.
give him money and candy and stuff just for having that name, just because that name was used they used his name in a book, and it became famous. So yeah, I thought that was really cool that he's a real person. He likes to play golf and like gets all this free candy and stuff.
Gene Roddenberry very carefully changed the spelling of the word Klingon because it was based off of his police sergeant when he was a police officer in L.A.
Oh, nice.
Sergeant Klingon was a taskmaster who he did not like, and he named the villain species for Star Trek after him.
Interesting.
That works both ways, but I've often wondered if his family ever found that out. And if so, what did they think about this? Like, I've never seen the other side of the coin of that interview, and kind of want to hunt down, like, I guess it would be probably his grandkids. I guess he would probably still have some kids around. And be like, so, what do you think about this entire alien species being named after your dad?
I mean, they're not the main villain, but they're particularly horrible people. I gave this one character in my contemporary fantasy the same initials as a particular former president that we all despise.
Well, I'm not saying that I'm not guilty of said practices as well, but especially when people have pseudonyms, because Galbraith just sounds like somebody that needs to have bad things happen to them.
It sounds like someone who has a gallbladder problem. honestly.
And I'm going to say this just every time I bring it up from now on, because every time I do, at least one person's like, I did not know that. J.K. Rowling's pseudonym, Robert Galbraith, is named after the man who invented shock therapy to convert gays into heterosexual men.
What? Okay, I did not know this.
Yeah,
How
this is
did I
why I'm
not
going
know
to say
this?
this. Yes, Dr. Galbraith is the man who
Well,
pioneered
that's an
shock
interesting
therapy.
choice for a name.
She
Says a lot.
claims this is completely coincidental and that she had absolutely no knowledge of this.
And when if
Sorry,
it was
but
new
when you-
knowledge, if she was a decent human being, she would have changed it.
Yeah,
But when you pick a pen name or a pseudonym for yourself,
You look it
generally
up.
you look that up.
yeah, because the only famous Galbraith that I know of from history is that Dr. Galbraith, who is not somebody that I would aspire to name myself after.
And again, if she was a decent human being and this was such a revelation, she should have changed it.
Yeah, that would be shocking to me if somebody was like, "Oh, that pseudonym you picked was this horrible person who believed in torturing children and young men."
Well,
Oh.
normally you look up your pen name on Google before you pick it.
You'd think. I mean, she claims this is purely coincidental, and she had no idea. And I am not psychic. I cannot look into her brain. I cannot look into her soul. I do not know if she is lying. And I would never say that I think that she is in a way that is actionable in a court of law. But one would think that she would have found this out prior to having other people point it out to her. Just saying.
Also, you gotta wonder like how she encountered that name in the first place. Like, you don't just stumble across a name like Galbraith,
Yeah.
as you're tootling along on the internet.
It makes you wonder. I mean, we've known for a while that she's not good at names. Like Harry Potter was named after a guy she went to school with, and basically she picked whatever the one thing that character has is, and then just like
Lupin.
smooshed a couple letters around.
Lupin.
Smooshed a couple letters, just a little bit.
Maggie says, "Be careful, Charlie. Your eyes are gonna get stuck."
I'm trying not to be that person, but I don't want to say anything actionable in a court of law. All right, so I think it's about time for us to start another sprint, just because it is getting really dark outside. It looks like it's not going to be a long rain, so maybe all of the loudness will be gone by the time we get back. Maybe it's getting really dark outside. I did not expect this today. Alrighty, let us say goodbye to Pretty Pretty Princess number 4.
Goodbye, number
Pretty
4.
Pretty Princess. I am sticking with number 2 because I love my purple hair.
7, of course.
Yeah.
I love her hair. Like, I wish I could do my hair like that, but my hair would not stay like that.
I want Seven's hair color. Like, I
See,
want that red.
Yeah, if I could get my hair color like that, or like the purple, I would be happy.
I can get it like that, but it washes out in a couple of weeks.
I know that I am contractually obligated to not cut my hair anymore because I promised after the last time, and I mean, fair point. All of my kindness is in my hair, apparently. Did not know this. I'm like Samson, but for niceness. Like, the longer my hair, the nicer I am. The shorter it is, oh god, just run. But I really want to, like, just get a bunch of wigs. Because it's so hard to keep certain colors in your hair.
Mm-hmm.
But a wig is forever. Kinda-ish. As long as you take care of it right. A wig lasts a long time. Alrighty.
I think when all the Halloween stores open up, I might, like, see what I can add to my costume stash for future run fairs and stuff and come up with some fun characters with different color hair.
Plus, it would just be fun to be like, what color hair do I want today? Like, I just have like a whole bunch of them. Like, I'm not saying that I'm going to turn into Moira from Schitt's Creek, but I mean, I wouldn't be upset to be
I love
Moira.
Moira.
Like there's worse things than being Moira Rose. I mean, there are worse things. So
I'm
if I can
getting
just
a
have,
light blue dress, so I get to.
so if I can just have her wig collection and all of David's clothes, I would be very happy.
So
Okay.
I actually have a poncho sweater thing that actually looks like something David would wear.
Brian used to harass me so much when we were watching that show. Just like, and you want that too, don't you? I'm like, yes. I want like all of David's clothes.
I wouldn't
We're
mind
gonna
having all of his sweaters, please.
all of the sweaters. It gets too hot around here to wear sweaters, but I still want them.
I don't care.
I still
I'll wear them anytime.
want them so bad. So many beautiful tunics, just all of it, all of it. Alrighty, let's get started on this. Make sure that you're saving your stuff. Hopefully, none of us get blown away by whatever it is that's going on outside. I will see you back here when this is done. Let's get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and sprint. Let us go catch a corgi corn. Number 3
One
is
and mine one.
number
Woo!
3 the winner. It is still raining. It was raining very, very, very hard. Now it is just rain.
I think it stopped. Definitely stopped thundering.
Yeah, apparently, we have a cold front that is moving through, that will be through by tomorrow night. And yeah,
Yeah.
Weather Witch said magic words of no severe weather is expected. So I trust the Weather Witch. So, how did everybody do? I dealt with my leg that wanted to explode when the rain happened because I don't know. I think it just went, why not? Let's have fun. Party. So
Mhm.
I did that. I then noticed how much time was left in the sprint and formatted one of my books for Omega reads because it's been betaed and gammaed and deltaed, and I thought it was done, but then the pandemic happened, and so
How long is it?
it's a 76K, I think. Easebook. Actually, I have it loaded up over here. Let me just hit a couple buttons and see what it says.
Control Shift Sheet.
It says 232 pages. On Google
So,
Docs.
63,228 pages. I'm sorry, pages. Words. Words.
I was gonna say.
My brain is broken today. Words.
I was gonna say, damn, that's a big book.
This is the one
I
you
was thinking like Twitter characters.
This is one that people have heard me talk about before. This is my dark fantasy series that like emphasis on the dark. Like if the end may be problem of this book especially may be problematic for the squeamish. I don't think it's necessarily gory. See, I had a very interesting conversation with one of my initial beta readers who characterized it as not gory but damn the blood. And I think that that is a good way to describe the end of the book. I mean, it's not gory. It's just there's a lot of yeah. It does have a very bloody end. So, if anybody would like to be in on the hopefully final round of reads on this book, because it was actually available to buy for a very small window, and I pulled it back because I just felt weird having a God of Death book during a pandemic. It just felt wrong. But I would like to put it in the other two books out. So if anybody wants to read it, let me know. And for everybody on screen, I put the link in the private chat. So if you want to.
I noticed.
But oh my goodness. There is one thing that I am going to say. One of the characters is probably going to be slightly rewritten. He's only got like 2 chapters, I think 2 or 3 chapters he appears in. So a very, very minor character, but I think he may turn into a Tugwaddle because Tugwaddles did not exist in this setting when the story was written.
Mm.
And I've been debating whether or not I don't think it would really change much about him other than how he is described when we first meet him. But I've been debating this. But yeah, how did everybody else do?
Pretty good. I was working on my story for the Pride anthology. Last spring, I figured out the name of the character, and so now I'm describing what is happening. I'm figuring all that out, and I started describing their appearance, and I got really obsessed with like the haircut that they had. So I was watching videos on how to like do the haircut, and I got a little too into it because it's not information I needed for the story.
Oh, of course, it's information you needed for the story. You just don't know how it's going to be necessary later.
Yeah, so that was what I did during this spring.
almost done with the day job because
Woo.
I went overtime with lunch, video calling my sister as she was showing my niece eating solid foods.
Oh.
She's teething, so she was nomming on frozen peas.
Aww. I outlined a little bit of book 2 of Plot Bunny. And then I have been on and off playing with the contemporary fantasy cover.
Oh, covers. Why art thou?
And I resent you the Canva thing so you can look at it and give me your thoughts at some point.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. That
Oh.
will be fun.
That reminds me, later, I sent you something to your Discord, something for you to read on your own time. But
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
I just thought it was interesting and thought you might appreciate the. It was the dissertation of this professor that I really like, which has to do with like how speech, like enacts rules in a way. Like it's interesting. It completely changed the way I think about language and how I use it, and so hopefully you will find some inspiration from it as well.
I may be able to use that in the paper I'm writing. I should actually read it before I write that. The point of the thing that I'm currently writing is how story changes our perception of our lives and the world around us.
Then you will love his work. Like, I wish there was somewhere like a recording of this, the talk that he gave that completely changed my life in a way. It was about hate speech and whether it should be protected by free speech, the First Amendment. And it was talking about how speech can, like, it influences the way you think and the way you act, and it has more of it's more influential than we give it credit for. And it was the most fascinating. I would love to be like, message him, be like, hey, is there any way I could get you to talk on my, like, maybe interview you for my YouTube, because I think a lot of writers would find his work extremely fascinating.
That sounds really fascinating. I am excited. I definitely have to read that before I write the thing I'm about to do. Back from dinner, slow. I'm not even going to say those words out loud. I don't need to drown in the drool of my own making. Oh, that sounds amazing. And okay, so
minus the green beans. That's just my opinion, but she can have those.
I'll take the green beans.
So, Maggie, while I kind of want to agree with you, if you remember a while back, I asked you a whole bunch of non sequitur questions. And that's because for my sci-fi setting, I'm not going to put in tug waddles, but I am going to put in tom waddles. And I needed to know what your favorite things were. So I've figured out how the bees play in, how the goats play in, all the things that you told me, including the colors that you liked and everything, how it's all going to work together, and have started crafting a whole species of basically the tom waddles for the sci-fi setting. Inspired by you. So that's why I asked you all of the non sequitur questions a while back of what's your favorite this, that, and the other thing. You know, kind of like I did to Devin for the creation of the tug waddles. And I've been having a lot of fun with them.
All of the waddles.
Yeah, I'm really having fun with them because the idea is they all have this kind of innate ability where they can summon basically they can open the collective mind of the area that they're in, and they become these like little hive like bookshelves in front of them, and they can literally pull out the scrolls of the information that they need and stuff. They're going to be fun. They are going to be fun and highly sought after and extremely rare because they hide, because, well, knowledge is power, and people who want power are going to want to have some people But yeah, I've been working on this for a while. I'm glad you like it. But yes, I do think the waddles belong in all things, but not always the tug waddles. Sometimes you need a tom waddle. That mama with all the wings. But yeah, and now the sun's coming back out. At a moment of, it's really bright outside. What just happened? Oh, the clouds are moving. The sun is coming back out. It's going to be a beautiful day, just in time to watch it set.
You sure we're not in the same state? I'm getting the same weather.
I think it is all the same front. Actually.
So for my
It's just like
personal
slanting.
project, I'm rendering out EXRs because that's what I do for work. I don't have a program that can read EXR file formats. It's like, oh no! Do I have to render out JPEGs? Like, oh no!
Yeah, I don't.
Is there a non-commercial nuke license?
I have no idea. I do not know the answer to
Soon.
that. See, Maggie says, "Did I tell you the neighbor thinks I'm a witch because he saw me holding one of the face from the hives without wearing gear?" That is amazing. That is amazing. Don't forget to models. Always have the favorite cookie of the person who needs comforting. That is an amazing superpower, and yes, this will be added in because I'm having ever so much fun. I hope y'all like the sci-fi madness that is being cooked up right now because it's like there's so much glitter. It's just,
Ooh, yay!
30-day free trial of nuke. Booyah!
Woo!
that is awesome. I'm just saying the A-Star pilot character may or may not be heavily inspired by Freddie Mercury. So it's going to be a fun series. You are wonderful and you deserve to be incorporated into the things because this is the thing that people need to watch out is I will find ways. I will find ways.
I just want more people to use the name Megan in their stories. Like, you never hear the name Megan anywhere.
Be careful what you ask for.
I don't mind being like a villain character. Like, that would be great.
I may have or may not have been working on a whole like hippopotamus-like species, like bipedal hippopotamus-like species.
Nice.
And stuff, because if you're not going to do the goofy things, why are you doing them at all? Like, I mean, let's be honest. I've realized what my brand is since I've been doing the AuthorTube thing. It's the silly trash because I enjoy it. Other people seem to enjoy it. Yeah, why not? Why not? I've written my serious books and nobody cared about them. I've written my trash throwaway books and they sell like hotcakes. So why am I trying to be serious? just why?
Hey, Spence.
Hello, Spence.
Hello.
I'm just going to say, and that's it. That's all I'm going to say. Just because I need to. And it makes me feel better. And you know why.
Hi, Spence.
That sounded beautifully ominous, didn't it? Like I got the right level of ominous in there.
I like trash. What can you do?
Oh, I've just come to realize, like, yeah, I am that like pulp writer, like with way less misogyny and toxic masculinity. But yeah, I'm just a pulp writer. Is fine.
You know the gif of the one guy going like this when I read the message from Mr. Spence? I literally went,
Yeah, a little bit, just a little bit. So, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to be working on when we do the next sprint, just because I know what I was working on, but I don't want to. I might load up. I may load up the space trash. I don't know. I might. there's part of me that feels like I need to send Maggie a copy of Shine Like Thunder, a complimentary copy of Shine Like Thunder, because I really want to work on the sequel to that, and that is pretty much Trampire in space. Because, well, I love Sadia, and I'm not saying that Sadia and Akio are gonna like continue to have relationship issues, but Sadia is a hunter. And I really want to write the next book in that series. That horrible thing. What am I going to do? What am I going to do with myself, y'all? What am I going to do? I'm going to load it up. That's what I'm doing. It's fine. It's fine. I can. I just hit a button. What, Scrivener? What have I done? Oh, I closed the thing. Okay. Well, I didn't need to have that open anyway, so it's fine. Instead of switching over to the menu, I accidentally clicked the close window, but I didn't need to have that window open because I'm not working on that document right now. It's fine. Do want that one open though. Alrighty. That's always nerve-wracking when it opens and says rebuilding indexes. Well, why do you have to rebuild things? What got broken? Anywho. So I think the original roots of Trampires is two of my books that are already out, and that is the chain, because book 2 in that series is going to be taken over by Daniel, and Daniel has issues. Daniel has a fun family background that you find out about in that book, and we'll be taking over that series going forward. I've already got most of the novella written, which is basically the first book from his point of view that I'm going to just give out, because he was doing some things that really don't belong in the book proper. They just seem like really weird side treks, like, hey, are we on this side quest? But yeah, so hopefully all that will be out, because that's going to be fun. And Sadia, oh, sweet Sadia, you got me called a race traitor by a racist in town, and I will forever love you for that. But yeah, I personally would have thought the weird interspecies lovemaking that takes place in that book would have bothered her a little bit more than, and by that I mean they're aliens, y'all. They're aliens. It's not like, get your mind out of the gutters. But I would have thought that would have bothered her more than the fact that your human characters are not exclusively white. No, they're not. But I learned a lot about her that day. More than I wanted to be honest. Okay, I'm sorry, but I have to ask the question. You're doing the dance. Something very happy just happened, and I need story. What just happened?
Well, I just lit all the rats for work. I'm done with work for now, for tonight, and I am rendering out 36 frames, so like a second and a half of Anim with my lighting, just so I can see it move and how pretty it is and how my dust particles go. And it's on the 4th frame now, and Nuke has the 30-day free trial, and I qualify for it, and it's ready to get downloaded once I'm done rendering, so I don't crash my computer. Because
nice.
Like last time, I had an Alienware laptop because I had Houdini and Nuke and Maya on it, and I was doing all the CG stuff. And for this computer, I was thinking I'm only going to do it when I remote log into my work computer. So it's not quite built for this.
Oh,
but it's still going.
Yeah, it just takes time.
So, yeah, I just looked at my turtle dude, and it made me happy.
Nice.
Sorry, there's just been so much unmitigated crap happening lately that when I see somebody do a happy dance, I'm like, you are sharing story, make us all happy. Share the joy. Share it. We all need a little bit of the joy. Alrighty, let's do a thing because thing to do. Alrighty, so goodbye, pretty princess 3. Enjoy your little. Because I'm sorry if that's not a corgi corn. Like I don't know that the tail is if that's a klepto tail or not. But I mean, you show me that. I mean, it works for me. By the
I'm
way,
gonna take Roy out during this sprint.
if you've not seen the Una story, go over to Maggie's channel. It's amazing. Alrighty, I'm sticking with number 2 because purple hair will win the day.
Switching to 1.
7.
Alrighty, make sure everybody is saving their stuff because with the weather shenanigans that are currently going on, you never know when the gremlins are going to come and try to take your stuff. Don't feed the gremlins. Save your work, or they will come for you.
And submit your work to places. Come on. You can do it.
We're not all as fabulous as you are, Laura.
I submitted 2 today. I need to pick my 3rd one to send to Flash Fiction Online. So I'll be submitting 3 today.
Let us get started with the sprint in a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, and go! Let's go get ourselves a little corgi corn. Number one, number one, number one did win the one. Wait, it's fine. I bet that was really fun to write. So I loaded up the current sci-fi project and wrote a little bit on it. And then got to a point where I really should describe one of the villains because we see one of the villains for the first time. And then I thought to myself, oh God, what does she look like? Because I had an image in my brain and then I went, nah, I don't like that one. And I threw it out. So I know that the description that I have written down, I didn't want to use. And then I reread the description I had written down. I went, yeah, no, don't want to use that. Crap, what does she look like? So I got kind of hung up there. But I did get... Where does this start? Where did I start writing? Oh, wow, I wrote more than I thought I did. I had to actually scroll back. There. Okay, so I did get 179 words. Which is nice. I haven't written anything in a very long time, and it felt so good. But now I have to figure out what this character looks like. Yay. How'd everybody else do?
Still slowly outlining.
I'm reading fan fiction.
Apparently, this should have been a 3-cup of coffee day. Ugh.
Every day for me is a 3-cup of coffee day. Though I do feel like it should have been 4. So the very fact that I limit myself to 3 cups of coffee is like a Herculean task. I am that person that would have 3 to 4 pots of coffee a day.
That was my father.
My aunt doesn't drink anything but coffee. She literally only drinks coffee. Occasionally, she'll drink. So she's lactose intolerant. But occasionally, she'll drink a glass of milk.
See,
She literally just drinks coffee, black coffee.
I recognize that this is an addiction because if I don't get my coffee, as somebody who has gone through addictive withdrawal, I know the symptoms very well. And yes, that is what's happening here. I don't know how much I am benefiting from it or how much of it's just fighting off all of the horrible thoughts that come up when you don't have it. But I keep having this dream that one day I'm going to go caffeine free just because, I don't know, the propaganda tells me that it's healthier in every way, which there's actually very mixed studies on that. Like there's a lot of, like with all food science.
I think my dad eventually became immune to the effects of coffee because he would drink 5 pots a day and he would brag about it too. And he'd still be in bed by 10.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure the coffee keeps me awake. I just know that it makes that headache, that burning, itching on the inside of my skull headache go away. And I do like the flavor of it. But I don't think I actually drink for the wakefulness anymore. I just drink enough to stave off the addictive sweats. Oh, I would love to just do that. Whew. It's supposed to be...
My mom's the same way with
cooler
tea,
here.
though. Like, she will drink pots of tea if she wanted to, if she could.
See, I grew up in a house where we had a 3-gallon pitcher of tea that was always in the fridge. And never allowed to be empty. Like, never allowed to be empty. Yeah, I live in fear of having to be coffee free. Because... like I have 2 vices left. I have 2 vices left. I've given up so many. So many. Can I I don't want to give up all of them.
Except my mom knows that she can't just drink tea because she had the flu one time, and the only thing that she could taste was tea, and that's the only thing that like made her feel somewhat functional.
Mm.
Because working in retail, you don't get sick time, so you still had to go to work. Um,
Which is stupid and needs to be fixed because that's how these things spread. Anyway, continue.
yeah. So she was just downing tea like crazy, and then she got dehydrated.
Mm.
Like she's like, I was laying on the couch and I tried to stand up and my legs wouldn't work.
Yeah, that's why if you notice I have a giant cup every now and then. This is my water cup. I need to have, technically, for my body, I need to have 2 of these a day. I am very proud of myself when I have at least 1 a day. But this gets filled
This
every
isn't
morning.
this
Giant
isn't
mug of
full
water.
right now, but I do have my liter bottle I've been refilling.
But I despise water in all of its forms. So, except for, when you can sit into it up to your nipples. That's the only way water and I are like really good friends. Just sit in the water.
So now she keeps Gatorade on hand.
I have
when
never
she's
found a
dehydrated.
Gatorade that I like. But I can see how that is a me problem. Not a them problem.
Yes.
I think that's a really good way to put it because it's one of those things like I grew up lower middle class. I'll say lower middle class and sometimes dipping a little bit below that. So
This is what I get to improve my water flavor. It doesn't have aspartame in it. There are other flavors in the same brand that do, but this does not. And I think I was talking about it last night on your Discord, where it's got like that Jolly Rancher candy flavor of
I'm gonna have to
watermelon.
check that out. I am definitely gonna have to check that out because that sounds delicious. Yeah. Okay, so our water supply around here is so hard. Like we had to buy this like reverse osmosis device machine thing that is bigger than the sink that we do the restaurant's dishes in to remove it basically removes all of the stuff the minerals out of the water and then puts just enough into it that we have not made the water toxic because your water needs to have a little bit just a skosh just a little touch and oh my goodness because we were breaking if we don't do that it breaks everything. It's just like in the bathroom we have to descale the sink because just running the water will cause limescale to just start growing out of the faucet like little stalactites. Like our water is really hard. Like just me. It's terrifying.
Back.
Welcome back.
We went on a long walk.
I wish I could do that. I miss my long walks so much. Don't run upstairs. Don't run upstairs. Don't carry heavy things upstairs. Don't trust people when they're like, it's fine if you stand behind this. I have you. Trust no one. Trust no one. Save your back. Save your knees. Just trust no one. See, I grew up on well water. And yeah. Yeah, there is a distinct difference.
I love the water at my dad's house because it's just so good. It's like the best. Like I have obviously been to other places that had well water, but I'm just like no, the water at dad's house. Which if you turn the cold water tap on, the water is so cold it's colder than ice cold water.
Mm. I like the sound of that.
Also, the water in my dad's house gets tested super often because pine trees are actually super picky about the
can
water
imagine.
that they're grown in.
I can imagine. They seem a little diva-like. Like I don't
They
know.
are. So, like, my dad has to test the water every 3 to 6 months for the irrigation system, for the aquifer. Like, so, like, if anything is wrong with the water, my dad would probably actually be the first person to know.
I think it's probably because every time I used to go to the club, the people that had the manicuredly spiked hair were always the divas, and that just reminds me of like pine needles.
My dad also has his hot water heater set so that you can make instant coffee with it from the tap.
Yeah, we had
Don't
to
touch the water at my dad's house if you have the only hot on.
replace our water heater because the last one died a terrible death, and the new one, because Brian talked to his dad about it. And have I mentioned that my father-in-law was an efficiency expert for the government? Like he understands all the numbers and all the math, and basically our water, like even though it's not set to boiling, like just make sure you're mixing the cold water in. Just make sure you're like, I'm pretty sure I could make eggs just by running the hot water tap over them. I think that would be a thing. Temperature's not set that high, but oh my goodness, it is very efficient. It doesn't burn nearly as much natural gas as our old one, which is great, but also super psychotically hot, which makes all things just a little bit scary. Just a wee little bit. Okay, so I'm going to leave this up to y'all because I'm looking at the clock and I see that we have enough time for either one more sprint or to just like forget about productivity and just do the chatties. What are y'all in the mood for?
I am back.
Oh. That's Brian's grandmother in a nutshell. I don't know how she had a throat left. I really don't. I really like she would percolate coffee like fresh from the stove, put it into her cup, take 2 sips, put it in the microwave for a minute, pull it out, take a couple more sips, put it back in the microwave for another minute. Like it was basically lava. She had a little cup of molten lava. How like I would be scorched on the inside. Like this is just how like anything that wasn't molten was cold to her. And she did that with soup too. Like I remember we were up there one time, she made us soup and she ladled it out. I took like a bite of it. I was like, that's really, really good. And she's like, it's probably cold. Do you need me to heat it back up? And I'm just like, I sat here for like a while just trying to get the steam to stop because it was just so hot. It was burning. Like the proximity to my lips, it was kind of burning. You know those kinds of soups where it's just like,
Yeah.
oh no, that's death. Not yet. Just breathe on a little bit more. Oh no, still death. And she was wanting to put it back in the microwave to heat it back up. I do not have these internal organs that can facilitate the consumption of this. No, I just don't. Like I don't even understand how she touched the coffee cup. Because one time, just out of curiosity, I poked her coffee cup with a finger and got a blister.
Oh.
Like, this is too hot. This is too hot. Like, and she wasn't like coated in blisters. Like, how is she not coated in blisters? Like, this is so hot. Why do you do this? I don't understand. So many questions.
So before I took the dogs out, I was writing more of what happens in the story, and I've discovered that they have a love interest now, and their love interest name is Luna, and I'm particularly fond of Luna.
I'm sorry. My face has nothing to do with you whatsoever. I could just hear the guy from Terrible Writing Advice going, "Is there a love triangle?" It's clear as day in his voice in the back of my head. I could
Maybe there should be a love
I
triangle.
could just hear him. Is there a love triangle? Like, I can't really do an impersonation of him, but you know what I'm talking about. It is a very good name for a love interest.
Hmm.
And in my opinion, who Harry should have ended up with at the end of those books.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Not kind of, I totally agree, but yeah.
Like their interactions and everything, it makes so much more sense. That it would have been,
You know, like, I mean, the fact that they had more than like 5.
yeah,
There were even less between Harry and Ginny in the movies.
yeah.
They just kind of like happened together, and I was like, what is this? I don't like this. This is not, no.
I mean, it would have made more sense if he would have ended up with Hermione than with.
That is what I initially wanted because I really self-identified with Hermione as a kid,
Oh.
you know, as a bookish, like, you know, brunette with, you know, lots of hair.
If I ever write my really angry trans rebuttal to Harry Potter, which I'm not saying that I've already started outlining and named the school and have a World Anvil world for already at all. Yeah, I'm pretty sure like one of the books would be called something like Luna's Revenge. Because I think Luna would probably be the name of the main character for that, maybe. Not saying that I'm ever going to work on that or have been secretly working on it at all, because I'm totally not that kind of person who would do such a thing, ever. Maybe.
That's what pen names are for.
See, there's no point in me trying to obfuscate who I am with a pen name. Because, like, if I'm willing to put something out in the public, you know, I'm going to be like, "Did you see the thing that I did?" Like, it's not even worth it. Like, it just really isn't. Oh, Brandon Sanderson. See, I'm assuming that's the whatever Brandon. I'm sorry. I saw the clickbait title and kind of unsubscribed to his YouTube channel today because I don't even care what the episode was about, but his like Cats Was Good Actually video that he just put out. I was like, no, I can't. I'm sorry. No, Brandon. I don't care if you're named it that for the lulz or for the clickbait. No. There's I like trash, and I'm very honest about the trash I like. Like, I will defend The Rise of Skywalker to my dying breath because it's not the movie I wanted, but it is the one the fandom deserved. And for that, I'm very happy that it exists because it's actually a little bit better than the fandom deserved. Like, it needed at one point for like Lando to just look in the camera and flip everybody off. But because that would have been awesome, and Billy D would totally have done it. But no, I'm not going to go there. I'm just not going to go there.
Hmm.
Sorry, Brandon Sanderson is my whatever Brandon. I'm sorry. I don't know if you were thinking of somebody else. I'm sorry. I love his books. I can't remember the names of any of his characters. But that Cats video was... I got to draw lines somewhere in my life. That got me, like, I just saw the thumbnail and went off on a screed that my poor husband had to listen to. And he was just like, "You're talking about that damn Cats movie again, aren't you?" I'm like, I'm sorry, I have problems.
That kind of reminds me, when you're done reading that article I sent you, I do want your extensive thoughts on it. so be prepared. We might have to schedule something so we can talk about it.
Oh, that would be my pleasure. Just kidding.
No thinking of the great BS. Not thinking of the great BS. Just kidding. I was actually thinking of Brandon Sanderson.
I'm sorry. It's just that. I honestly, I don't even care what it is. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's not like you stepped on a sacred cow or anything. It's just, no, I'm just done. I'm just done. Like, there's so so many things I'm just done with, and like
How do you step on a sacred cow? That's what I want to know.
I have very few of them, and it's really interesting when I see people actually hit them. I as a
No, but I mean like a literal cow.
Oh.
Sacred cow. Like, how do you step on one?
I know my grandpa used to have a cow that he would ride around because
Oh, that's funny. That's cool.
he was that guy.
My grandma rode a cow to school instead of a horse.
What was the cow's name?
I don't know.
Oh,
I want a pet yak. Like, I really do. Like, ever since I was a child, I wanted a pet yak. I kept begging my grandfather, like, can I have a yak? You have all these weird animals out on the farm. Can I have a yak? Okay, what if it would be a yak? It'd be mine. I'll take care of it, I promise. And he knew that I would, because I took care of both the pony that he got me and then sold out from under me, literally, while I was standing there. And I had to watch it get driven away. And he did the same thing. And I took care of the horse that he bought me, that he also then sold right in front of me and gave away, because, you know, I had to learn that lesson that life is hard. And, you know, life is hard, but your grandpa doesn't have to be a dick. That's a choice. That's a choice that you made, sir. That's not a life lesson. Though he was pretty sure it was a life lesson. And the worst thing was, the person that he sold my pony to when I was a kid was on my bus route to school.
Oh no.
So I had to pass it every day.
Oh no!
I passed that farm and would see it every day.
Oh,
And
that's heartbreaking.
Yeah. And I knew it remembered me because I called its name through the window once, and it raced alongside down the fence as we were driving by. And I was like,
Aww.
me too! And it just, yeah. No, not a life lesson. It's just a dickish grandfather. It was a pretty horse. It was a white one. I wanted to name it Artax, but my parents wouldn't let me because that had too much of a smell of Satan on it. They didn't like that I watched fantasy movies, and they hated how much I loved the never-ending story. It was a beautiful white horse. I can imagine. I don't know. I feel like the natural state for me is that annoying hermit that lives up in the hills and rides the yak into town every now and then to do their business, and then rides the yak back out, and everybody's like, I don't know, that's the weirdo with the yak. Like, I just feel like that's my brand that I've been building to my entire life. You know, like, we've all seen these shows. We know the character I'm talking about. Like, it's just eventually that's gonna be me, and I'm fine with it. You named your fictional horse Artax in games, and your husband just call me a monster. Well, I mean, if this Artax gets to live, I mean, the real monster was the people that decided that needed to be in a children's movie. Because, soul shattering to this day. Like, I don't know which is worse, when Artax dies or the sad rock biter when he does the hands thing. Like, both just shatter me. Yes, Laura.
Question. So I want to submit my failed harvest story to Flash Fiction Online, but I want to make sure that it's as strong as it can be. I want to make sure that my logic is sound. So, dude, failing harvest, decides, I'm going to make a Crossroads Demon deal. So,
as you do.
Yes. So Crossroads Demon shows up. The guy's marriage, is, I haven't decided, I didn't specify whether it's already official or they're just not wearing rings anymore and are separated. But he gives to the demon his marriage and offers his wedding ring. Later on, he finds somebody else, falls in love, and at the altar, the demon shows up and steals that marriage.
Ooh.
So, how do I do I need to specify that his current marriage is already dead and that why he thinks he's tricking the demon?
I would in the story, because that's the double trickery that's in there. Is he thought he was tricking it's the genie story, right? You think you're outwitting the genie, but the genie
Yes.
sees all and
Yes.
plotted ahead. So yeah, definitely I would explain why it is that he thinks that he has outwitted the critter, because
Mhm.
How do you steal a marriage?
By
Like, what does
stealing
that
all the
mean?
memories of the person so that they don't remember you anymore.
Oh,
okay,
So
so
they're
my
not loved.
particularly cruel.
I mean, that's one way to do it. I was thinking about my ex's ex-wife.
So
Took a long time.
they don't remember you. All they remember is suddenly I'm at the altar with you and there's a demon, and so they're terrified of you for the rest of your life and avoid you.
It took a long time for
Okay.
my ex to even talk to me because I had the same name as the person that stole my ex's ex-wife. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. Sorry, I was loading up Maggie's link on the other computer because I could control the sound better. Oh my goodness. Okay, this will do. That will do. That will be fine. Oh, it's your babies! Anyone who has not clicked links for babies. They're babies. And they're so fuzzy. Like,
Okay, I'll
why?
click
Where are
it.
my plushies right now? Like, I need my plushies. I need them right now. Oh my goodness, they're so cute. They're so cute. Like, the adults are super cute, but the babies. I can't even. I
Are they
can't even.
babies? Yeah, they are babies.
Yeah.
Like, because
Yeah.
the micro are tiny.
If those are the micros, then I want a herd of them. Like, if they
Ooh.
just grow to that size and cuteness and just stop there, yes, please.
Maggie has a very interesting
Give
comment.
me my herd of thunder beasts.
Having one person with only good memories of the relationship and one with only bad memories would be a stressful thing.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting twist.
That would be an interesting twist. And oddly enough, it's the backstory to one of my other exes, who apparently has nothing but happy memories of our time together. And I don't think most of them ever really happened.
Well,
But he is Monster, so. And has proven it on many an occasion. But yeah, I know that is a thing that can happen because I have nothing but like bad memories of that entire thing. And thanks to Facebook, I know that he has other opinions. Thank you, Facebook, for reconnecting me with people that I thought I had lost connection with forever. I can't stop looking at the babies. They're so cute. I love cows. Cows are sweetness and light. As far as like most of the farm animals I've ever interacted with, they're not malicious like ducks. Ducks are just ugh. Don't even get me started on geese. Like, I'm not even. And chickens, I don't understand how people have good relationships with chickens. I have never had a good relationship with a chicken.
I had a friend who liked to, their mom liked to carry the chickens around.
I thought Brian was going to whoop the gentleman that I am speaking of, because the last time I saw him in public was purely by accident. We happened to be at the same gas station at the same time. At least I hope it was purely by accident, because that would be really stalkery. Really, really stalkery if not. And yeah, he let's just say said some very rude things as a way to try to proposition relations.
Wow.
Not even hello. Not even a hello. Not even a hello. How you been? How are you doing? Just
Sounds like a charmer.
oh, terrible person. Oh, I can only imagine. They're so cute. They're so cute. Okay, so my grandpa Dorset had some banny chickens that I kind of got around. They never tried to kill me, so that's the closest thing I've ever had to a good relationship. But like my grandma's chickens would like hide in the rafters, and every time I came in, would like leap out at my face with their claws out, like just like, you are food. Like no, like no, no. I have very warped views of chickens because of that. Like I treat like when somebody was like birds or dinosaurs, I'm like yes, and they stalk their prey to this day. They still think they're T Rexes, and you're on the menu. It's terrifying. What is what is. Alrighty, wow. Okay, I just noticed the clock right when it flipped over. Alrighty, so I don't know what else going on for the rest of the week. To be quite honest with you, uh, we have the game stream tomorrow night over on Twitch with Brian and Tom. I don't know. Brian's probably got plans. I don't know. He always seems to have plans. Does he discuss them with me ahead of time? Not really. Just announces them on the spot because it's how he do. So join us for that. That should be fun. I did rebuild most of the one house and probably going to do some other weird rebuilding or get on a boat and just sail around. Probably get eaten by a sea serpent. It'll be fun. Sort of disclosure, my family fears my chickens. So you just are a witch, and they're your familiars. They're just part of your like clutch of familiars. Got it. Like I said, cows. I've never had a bad interaction with a cow. Even like the bull that Grandpa was like, "Stay away from that bull; it'll try to kill you." Just like walked up to me and nuzzled. Like I've never had a bad experience with a cow, ever. But I had a pig try to eat my foot, which was not your friend. That was just no. That was bad. I already talked about the chickens. Like, dear God, the animals and I do not. They did not like me. It's fine. Don't worry about the cats. You. Oh, I mean, true. True. Alrighty. So, what was I saying? So, Thursday is the game. Friday, we will be doing something over on Twitch. We may be playing a game. We may be doing the productivities. It depends on this thing. And I am probably going to be really peer pressurable. So, it's going to depend on this thing.
So basically, when we all hang out in the hour before the actual stream, that's when we decide what happens.
The committee meets, we all decide, and Charlie does the thing.
You all decide. I'll be watching from work.
Oh man, boo.
But
I
this
really
is
wanna-
going to be a very nice paycheck because of the overtime on Saturday and then the
Ooh.
holiday on Monday. And
Ooh, hooray for fat checks.
I really want to be doing the productivities, but I just know like the work that I've done today, I'm already like, can I just go to bed now? Thank you. So I'm not ready to be doing the productivities at the level that I want to be. But yeah, we'll be doing something over on Twitch on Friday. Does anybody have anything else that they would like to say before we run off?
I have a Fiverr gig available if you guys are interested. If you want to find the link to that, just follow me on Twitter at I'm Megan McCarthy. And it's the top pinned tweet that I have on there. So check it out and get your sales copy all written.
And Misadventures of a Mom Author is still on Kindle Vella. Volume 2 comes out. What does my countdown say? 69 days.
Ooh.
August 9th. Exactly 1 month before my trip.
Ooh.
My story is one word too long now.
Oh no.
It's 1001.
Oh no! Well, it's time to find one adjective or one crutch word that you missed.
Or one word you can turn into a contraction.
Yes, but this is quite threatening. I mean, granted, I probably won't be leaving the
There.
house, so I mean, it is mostly on Brian and Tom, and okay, I'm here for it. And just one final note before we head off. If you are the one person in Germany who's been listening to my music a lot, thank you very, very much. But I'm really easy to contact. Say hi. I would love to practice my German. I don't know who this person is, but I would like to, because is a thing apparently. Alrighty. Yeah. Just gonna go now. Have the fun, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.